Hello, welcome to another presentation of 5 Minute Cybersecurity. The Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency released a joint cybersecurity advisory on the Scattered Spider, a cybercriminal group targeting commercial facilities, sectors, and subsectors. The advisory provides tactics, techniques, and procedures obtained through FBI investigations as recently as November 2023. In this presentation, I will be highlighting the key points of that advisory and recommended actions. Hi, I'm Bill Osolinski, a certified information systems security professional with 30 years of experience. Reconnaissance and resource development. Scattered spider threat actors gather usernames, passwords, and personally identifiable information for targeted organizations. They use phishing to obtain login credentials, gaining access to a victim's network. They create a domain for use in phishing and smishing attempts against targeted organizations. And lastly, they create fake social media profiles to backstop newly created user accounts in a targeted organization. Initial access and execution. Scattered spider threat actors use broad phishing attempts against a target to obtain information used to gain initial access. They have posed as help desk personnel to direct people to install commercial remote access tools. They send SMS messages known as smishing when targeting a victim. They use voice communications to convince IT help desks to gain access to targeted organizations. They abuse trusted relationships of contracted IT help desks to gain access to targeted organizations. And they obtain access to valid domain accounts to gain initial access to targeted organizations. Persistence, privilege escalation, and defense evasion. Scattered spider threat actors seek to maintain persistence in a targeted organization's network. They create new user identities in the targeted organization. They modify multi-factor authentication tokens to gain access to a targeted organization's network. They abuse and control valid accounts to maintain network access even when the passwords are changed. They escalate account privileges when on a targeted organization's network. And they add a federated identity provider to the targeted organization's single sign-on tenant and activate automatic account linking. Credential access and discovery. Scattered spider threat actors use tools such as Raccoon Stealer to obtain logon credentials, browser histories, and browser cookies. They will send repeated multi-factor authentication notification prompts to lead employees to accept the prompt and gain access to the target network. They search for insecurely stored credentials on targeted organization systems. They will search for insecurely stored private keys on targeted organization systems. They seek out SharePoint sites, credential storage documentation, VMware Center, infrastructure backups, and enumerate Active Directory to identify useful information to support further operations. They leverage AWS System Manager inventory to discover targets for lateral movement, and they search for infrastructure such as remote systems to exploit. Lateral movement and collection. Scattered spider threat actors laterally move across a targeted network upon gaining access and establishing persistence. They use pre-existing instances for lateral movement and data collection. They search code repository for data collection and exfiltration. They search SharePoint repositories for information. They stage data from multiple sources into a centralized database for exfiltration. They search a targeted organization's emails to determine if the intrusion had been detected and a response had been initiated. And they search data in cloud storage for collection and exfiltration as well. Exfiltration and impact. Scattered spider threat actors exfiltrate data from a target organization for extortion. They encrypt data on a targeted organization's network and demand a ransom for decryption. They exfiltrate data to multiple sites, including US-based data centers. And they monetize access to a target's organization's network, including extortion-enabled ransomware and data theft. Recommendations. Scattered spider threat actors typically engage in data theft for extortion using multiple social engineering techniques and have recently leveraged Black Hat/Alpha V ransomware alongside their usual tactics, techniques, and procedures. FBI and CISA encourage network defenders and critical infrastructure organizations to review the joint CSA for recommended mitigations to reduce the likelihood and impact of a cyber attack by scattered spider actors. For more information, visit CISA's Stop Ransomware website, whose address I will include in the description. That's all for this presentation. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for watching.